game already. The toss going to Monrepo and deciding that they will chase. They have every confidence in their batting. Charles is due for a big one as he hits that high over extra cover. But you can have a man right back in the rope, and that wouldn't matter. Clearing the boundary has been a very productive over for South Castries. 17 on the board, Charles already 13. And I think we are getting some indication that Charles is very, very keen with Clovis to ensure a good competitive score when it's all over.
Yes, they certainly would want to end the tournament on a high, having been last year's champion and having to play for third place. Right, so they certainly would want to make a statement, and batting first at the top of the order, it really gives him the opportunity to go out there and really express himself and get a big one, so to speak.
So 17 without loss. I'm sure that Christian Charity is going to ask the bowler to bowl very, very tight as Augustine gets warmed up to come into the attack. You could certainly do your partner Henry by maybe just conceding 3 or 4 runs, just to pull it back a bit. Well, it's going to be Charles in strike. You really got to bowl off stump and not too far up. You've got to be just back of the length, as they say. This is short and forced down to mid-off, and they single easily. So he's given the strike. Charles to Clovis. I'm sure that Augustine is quite happy that only a single came off that delivery. So Charles 13. Clovis, that is Charles in the strike. Clovis took the single. And the delivery, which is top edge, short over, high over the head of Charles. And he managed somehow or the other to get the toe of the bat onto it, clear the keeper, and down to the boundary for 4. 17 Charles, none for 22. Very short delivery by Augustine.
Yeah, short and wide. Charles actually was into the short and looked to bail out last minute Reds, but the ball took the top edge and, as you did indicate, over the keeper down to the boundary for 4.
Could have gone high and keeper taking the catch, but it did in fact clear the keeper and drop close to the rope just below us. Charles 17 in strike still. This is 4. And Augustine goes in and gets bowls a no ball. Well, not a good start by a Monrepo. 22 without loss. And you don't want to be giving Johnson Charles a free hit. He doesn't need a free hit. He can hit a legal delivery virtually out of this ground. And we have seen it go out of this ground in the competition. So 23 without loss. Charles is 17 of 6 deliveries. And Augustine goes into Charles, and Charles gets that off the inner part of the bat as he swings towards mid-wicket. Along the ground and came to the man inside the circle. So again, the strike is rotated. Clovis has an opportunity to add to the South Castries total of 24. Charles is 18. 7 off the over so far. 17 came off the first over from Henry. So Augustine moving. Clovis is getting a lift in delivery. I think that was the main factor there. Made good height outside the line of the off stump. And probably, Greg, that's the length he should be bowling.
Yes, just sort of back of a length. The sort of length you kind of drive and can pull or cut.
You've lost the sunshine for a while. And again, beaten outside the off stump, but no edge taken. But good comeback by Augustine. Still 7 runs conceded. Is both 5 deliveries. And after 1.5 overs, South Castries, the defending champions last year, playing for 3rd or 4th place at 24 without loss. The sun comes back as Augustine goes in, and that is virtually picked up outside the off stump. He didn't have a lot of movement of the feet. The over is completed. Charles 18, Clovis 4, 24 without loss, and Augustine conceded 7, which was not a bad over.
Yes, good comeback over in the context of the game. Considering 17 came off the first over. Kevin Augustine really pulling one back for the Monrevo Stars.
So, will there be a change of bowling? Yes, I think there will be a change of bowling. Johnson Charles will be in strike.
Yeah, Shawnee Edwards.
I think looks like a left arm fast and maybe bowling over.
Young Shawnee Edwards. Actually, his dad played for St. Lucia as well. He has played on the 15%. Yeah.
Good to have your depth of knowledge. And
the dad is the former Minister of Sports. Sure.
Oh, well done.
Shawn Edwards.
Yeah. Who himself was a manager of
the Winwoods.
Yep.
Actually, he and I, we opened for St. Lucia on a tour of St. Croix.
Who got what?
Well, he was struggling that tour badly. I was the MVP of that tour.
Well, in the meantime, it's going to be Edwards to move in, left arm over, always needs to see one, and that's gone huge, I think, out of the ground into the car park. I hope somebody's not looking for their windscreen. Huge 6, 30 without loss. What a greeting to the young man.
Yes, certainly this is one he would remember for as long as he remembers the name Johnson Charles. Very first delivery to Johnson Charles in the T10 blast. He was deposited outside of the ground. So,
I think a new ball will probably have to come. No, well, the ball is retrieved very quickly. There may be some kind spectator. As I said yesterday, watching cricket at board in Guyana, if the ball is out of the ground, whoever finds it gets free entry. Edwards bowls, and this ball is gone in a different direction, but the same addition to the total, not a 6, short and pulled through the mid-wicket, and didn't go as long as the last one, but it does adds up to 36 without loss. He has had 36 off some 10 balls, 4 6s and 1 4. None for 36. Charles on 36. Clovis on 4.
yes, Charles really taken a liking to the short pitch bowling of Shawn Edwards. The young man would have to learn very quickly is that he does not possess the sort of pace to trouble Johnson Charles with those short pitch deliveries, and Johnson Charles has moved on to 18 sixes so far in the tournament.
And Edwards goes in, conceding yet another 6, and he laid back on this occasion, really laying back and launching into the full shot, clearing the boundary by far, and already 18 off the over. I mean, a young man could really, be troubled by this for the next couple of weeks.
Certainly he will have some nightmares, Reds, but he still has 3 balls to perhaps redeem himself. 226 scored so far in the tournament, so quite a few sixes been struck this year.
42 without loss. We've had 2.3 overs, so it may be a high-scoring semi-final. We didn't have all that high scoring yesterday. Now he's going wrong, and bowls a no ball. Well, just add insult to injury to put salt into the wounds. Again, we welcome our brothers and sisters in India and all of St. Lucia. Possibly Sports Max has now joined us. And welcome to all of Jamaica, some 3 million people of real sporting talent over the years. 43 without loss. Charles on 36. And timed that very well. It goes bouncing down towards mid-on. So all of a sudden, conceding only one, Augustine relieved in a sense. Still none for 19 of 3 overs. And I think very happy now, Edwards, that he's going to bowl to Kovis, who's only 4.
Yes, we're happy to see Johnson Charles get off strike, but it was a good delivery in this case, well up.
Still going wrong, and Kovis letting it go outside the off stump. And he was very happy with that. It was always like a 2-day game where you're letting it go to wait for later. But one of the good things, even Kovis on 4 of 7 deliveries, Charles is scoring at rates at the other end. And it's none for 44 of 2.1. The finals to come later. That's the delivery which is in fact going right through. And looking to pull it that. Keeper took it low. The 3rd over is completed. And South Castries sent in a 44 without loss with Charles on 37. Kovis, the vice captain, on 4.
Yes, good ending to the over there by young Edwards after conceding 18 in the first 3 innings. He really came back nicely to end up with 1 and 2 dot balls in the end. So certainly that would be a learning curve for him.
And maybe his captain will give him 1 more, but I doubt that. He is learning from the whole experience. Going to learn to bowl a better length. And he's, as a left armer, he's got to go cross the right-hander. So 44 without loss. And it's going to be Edwards from all appearance to continue. And yes,
Kevin
Edwards. Augustine from the top end. Son is with us. Happy Friday to all. Happy Friday evening to all in India. As Augustine makes his way in outside the off stump and bowls a wide. And I did get an email saying that the coaches needs to work harder with the various teams in order to cut out the wide. Taking into consideration that people are a little rusty, Greg.
Yes, but there's been a marked improvement, especially this week, Reds.
Augustine, and that's taken off the edge and nicely stopped by the 3rd man coming around. The very young man who was roughed up comes and produces a very, very nice stop.
Yes, good work there by Dikesh Henry. Coming from Whitefoot Money, running to his left.
And they could have looked for 46 without loss. Now there is, in fact, a short 3rd man who probably could still be in a catching position with an outside edge. And that's hit out in the offside by Kovis. He's been just turning the strike over when he gets an opportunity. He moves to 5. Charles is 38. And it's none for 47 of 3.2. They're scoring close to 15 at this point. Augustine back to his mark, 1.2 overs, none for 10. Edwards 1 over for 20. In the Barbados CPL squad of retainers, the overseas players, as in the case of Guyana, was not named. Trinidad has named everyone. And Dwayne Bravo going to the St. Kitts Nevis pitch. Just Death not named yet. That's outside the off stump and a flashing blade by Johnson Charles, but it's too wide for him to make contact. So 1 more to the total. 48 without loss. I can tell you we're into the 4th over. It's been a quiet over so far, so to speak, as this delivery hit with the right hand, strong right hand, strong shoulder. Always had a good top body well developed. And yet another 6 to the South Castries captain. He goes up to 54 without loss. Clovis is on 5. And they are now averaging at 14.73. That's outside the off stump, wide call. And you were just saying, Greg, we've had an improvement. They're trying to say there's no improvement.
From 6 extras so far.
It's Augustine. And for 18. And that's smacked away through the extra cover position. Long one comes across. They don't look for the second. They could have. It would have been tight. But the long one had to do a lot of running to his left. So maybe neglecting the second run. Charles already far ahead of the game. He's on 45. Clovis is 5. The last delivery of the 4th over. Clovis is hitting that flat batted down towards a short mid-on just inside the circle. That completes the 4th over. And after 4 overs, they're really very happy with their progress. Thanks to Charles on 45. He has faced 16 balls. He's had 6 sixes and very much happy with his progress. Clovis is on 6. Good opening stand. Nice blend.
Yes, the South Castries Lions, as one would say, the poise at this stage perhaps to go past the largest total in the tournament, which was scored by Grozule versus Babono. That's 141. So with this sort of platform, I'm certain if Charles bats the 10 overs, not only will they go past 141, he may very well get 100 again this year.
So, the Scott to move in. He's going to bowl his fast medium. Well, of course, is saying the end of a long 14 days. And it's been enjoyable, but it's work every 14 days. That's a swing and a miss, as they like to say in Australia. They're looking to plant a left foot and a mighty drive with it. Charles on 45. Clovis is in strike. 57 without loss. Interesting news coming in about who's playing where and who's coming, which we will deal with in a minute. This Scott goes in, and that's a big appeal. I'm disappointed that they didn't get the decision going their way. Appeal for leg before he was pulling across the line. Was he outside the line of the off stump? That's the big question will be in the mind of the umpire. So the leg by signal for this 6:45 as a Charles. One more extra, none for 58. So South Africa coming to St. Lucia. And we have a situation where Barbados will receive Australia and St. Lucia. This is the white ball situation onto the front foot with the bat flashing over the shoulder. But the one missing component, he didn't make bat. So Barbados and St. Lucia will host the Australians in the white ball tournament. And Pakistan, Shelby to go to Barbados, Guyana, and Jamaica. So a fair amount of traveling. It's a long way from Guyana to Jamaica. And here's hoping that the COVID numbers will be coming down in all parts of the Caribbean. That's short and pulled away. Nice balance. Beautiful balance. And there was no losing of shape. It went very, very quickly. Flat as a bullet. It didn't drop at all. Hit the concrete base of the bottom of the stand as he pushes the score up to 64. And Charles has gone to 51.
Yes, Reds registered his foot 50 in the tournament and also equaling the fastest 50 again, 18 balls. which was won by Johnson Charles, South Cashways versus Central Cashways.
Charles on 64. The scan goes in. That well stopped by the bowler. Hit hard into the ground. And he had to stop his advance and get to the right to pluck it out. Could have been at least a single. Don't think it would have beaten the long off unless he had muffed it. So a dot ball appears in Roland Cox. Scoring apparatus, none for 64. He's on 51, Charles. As he's struck in the pad, that's going down leg side. No appeal. So that completes the over. So after 5 overs, some of the fastest scoring in the competition. 64 after 5 overs. Charles 51. Clovis is 6. They're scoring just under 13. Clivis Jules will be your next voice after hearing comments from the former Windward's batsman. And we are going to see a bowling change also.
Yes, good platform set there by the South Cashways Lions at the halfway stage. Some 64 without loss. And most importantly, Johnson Charles registered in his third half century of the tournament. The second, he has equaled his fastest 50 in the tournament, which is he got in 18 balls, and that was South Cashways versus Central Cashways. So Johnson Charles certainly in a rich vein of form and presently leading run scorer.
Good morning to you, Greg Wilson, and good morning to our viewers in India, in the Caribbean, and locally. And we see Jamal Lesmore. He's going to take up the attack from the players' pavilion end, and he's bowling to Wade Clovis, who's on 6 from 13 balls. A bit of a slow going for Wade Clovis, but there's no need for him to rush. Johnson Charles is going great guns at the other end, and Clovis is bowled by Lesmore. Second delivery of the over, and Clovis going for the big heave. You might have heard me talking about him getting a move on with it, and going for the big heave out towards mid-wicket and bowled by Jamal Lesmore.
Yes, when Clovis really continues to struggle, he's not had the best of tournament, but good bowling there from young Lesmore to dismiss Clovis. Really played across the line, completely missing this one, and he was bowled off stump.
Slower bowlers again having an impact in the tournament as Lesmore is being brought in, and immediately he dismissing Wade Clovis. Very, very low strike rate from Wade Clovis. 6 runs from 14 balls. He's taken over 2 overs to get his 6 runs out of the allotted 10 overs.
It was really slow going by him, but to be fair to him, with the rate at which Johnson Charles is striking the ball with a strike rate of 255. Certainly there's no need for he himself to have been going helter-skelter, but he needed to improve the strike rate nevertheless.
At least a run a ball, or somewhere in the 90s, just below a run a ball, but facing that many deliveries for Clovis, 10 dot balls is in a 10 over match is really putting your team under pressure. But thanks to Johnson Charles, they're on 64 for 1, and it's Corlinus Calendar who's joined Johnson Charles at the wicket. He will be facing up to Lesmore, left arm round wicket to Calendar. Calendar is pushing out towards long on, and it's Augustine who comes off the rope and to field just outside of the 30-yard circle. Calendar is off the mark, and more importantly for the Lions, Johnson Charles is back on strike. He's facing up for the first time to Jamal Lesmore around the wicket again, around the wicket and out towards square leg, deep square leg, and finds Shawnil Edward. They come through for a single. The score moves on by 1 to 66, and Charles moves to 52. Charles will very well be eyeing 100 today as Lesmore comes in again, left arm round the wicket to Calendar, and Calendar is driving in the same general direction out towards long on, and he gets a single. He's not timing it very well. It's early going. He's not used to the pace of the wicket as yet, Greg.
Yes, Calendar seems to be a slow starter from what we have seen in previous matches.
Lesmore into Charles. Charles is turning this one into the onside out towards deep mid wicket, and he comes through for a single, a very long single there for Johnson Charles. A bit of a quiet over for the South Castries Lions, losing 1 wicket, and Lesmore really putting the brakes on the scoring rate in that last over, Greg.
Yes, good over there by young Lesmore, only conceding 4 runs in the over, but most importantly, picking up the wicket with Clovis.
The most economical over so far for the Monrepo Stars, and they will be looking to restrict the Lions to a score as low a total as possible. They wouldn't want to be chasing the highest total of the tournament in this match for 3rd and 4th place. But Johnson Charles, he's there and he will have other ideas, and he is on strike as Dikej. It's Henry. Dikej Henry will take up the attack again from the media center end, and he's bowling to Johnson Charles outside off stump, and Johnson Charles is just guiding this one down towards a wideish 3rd man, and he gets a 4 for it. 4 more to Johnson Charles. The score moves on to 72 for 1, and Charles has moved on to 57. He's keeping his high strike rate up, Greg.
Yes, the length on this occasion was good. It was a full pitch delivery, but too much room. He could just free his arms, and as he did, he just guided this one to the left of the man at point and down to the footman boundary for 4.
Henry into Charles. This time he's a bit shorter, but still outside of stump, and a fantastic square drive, beating the diving point fielder and into the boundary rope for 4 again. Johnson Charles is motoring along.
Yes, best shot we have seen from Johnson Charles for the morning. This one just leaning back slightly and just hitting it past the man at point all along the carpet for 4. So certainly we have seen 2 delightful shots from Johnson Charles in this over.
76 for 1, the Lions. Charles has moved to 61. Will we see the first 100 of the tournament in this match? Henry into Charles, and this one is hit over the umpire, the square leg umpire, into the square leg boundary for 4. 3 consecutive 4s. Johnson Charles is really bringing the heat here for the South Castries Lions, and the score has moved to 80. He's moved to 65.
Yes, yesterday you did indicate that the Lions, they were teamed and they were caged, but today they are certainly roaring, and the captain, Johnson Charles, is really picking up the pace, and as you did indicate, possibly looking in the first century for the tournament this year.
As Henry moves in to Charles again, and he gives him a slow one. Charles out towards the fielder there. He's taken him. Change up delivery out towards Hazel Shalry, who was sweeping on the offside, and Johnson Charles will be very disappointed with himself. He could have picked anywhere, but the safe hands of Hazel Shalry, and he's dismissed for 65, Greg.
Yes, change up delivery on this occasion. He was driving through the line, but was not in full control, and the ball went way to the rope, to the extra cover area, and Hazel Charles, I thought, took a very smart catch, just moving to his left.
A good catching